words are and the names are, and they, my quote unquote, them the two that was coercing to conspire this war against Ukraine is Putin and Trump. Oh, well, I mean, it ain't my fault. It just is what it is. That's how else I can explain who the light-skinned, quote, today's word man, white man is today. I got to give it to you. I gave you, what, the beginning Boston Tea Party. Now it's called war, global politic war. Understand? And it's about that. For the money, that's what it is, for the money from China, my opinion, because there are 12 tribes, and each tribe plays a big position in the new world, which they call free world, that is still controlled by, there you go again, Edom, quote unquote, the white man. Is what it is. Understand? Ain't my fault. My opinion. They live in Rome. Oh, yeah. You think the war gonna go over there to Rome? I don't think so. Everything got to put all the they got it set up where as though it's got to be protected, because that's where the word come from. Now, how they doing with Putin? As he put his people who he called upon to get information from, he didn't house arrest them because they didn't gave him wrong, bad information. Bad news ain't good coming from trying to get something done that big. Now you can say, man, don't do this woo and make that play over there. Now that's a playing the game. But this ain't no game. This is matter of life or death. So they made the wrong choice during the process of how long and how to go about ending it. Because you got how to get started, but they trying to end it and it ain't ending so well. He want to end as the winner when he then went the wrong way about getting to the end. Putin. So here we go. My opinion. They live in Rome, who controls Galatia, which is in the desert today. That is for the 12 tribes. You understand? It's for the 12 tribes. All that area, all that back there, all the way up to Jerusalem, is till this is they Putin, all right? That Putin trying to get that open oil field. Listen, get that open oil field that has not been claimed, which is in the opposite side of the wilderness. That's by the Black Sea. The Mediterranean and all that on the opposite side. Understand? The Persian Gulf is on the opposite side. The Mediterranean is around the backside as you keep going from the south side. And they call it the Caspian Sea. And the Black Sea is the new oil field that has not been tapped in. Understand? That's why they giving those who know how to get together and tap in, they giving them the lands throughout the U.S. You can drill anywhere, but they not letting you get to that deeper, the ways they know once you tap in, it's coming up gushing the black gold out there. That's black gold out there. That's why they invented and come up with the creation of the black tea. It was the Boston Tea Party, green tea. Now you got the black tea, which will help your body, immune system, and all. Understand me? It don't have no tea, no lemonade in it. It's black tea, and it's delicious, but it costs you. Yeah. So understand it that has been not been tapped into, and Putin wants access to it with the ace in the hole, which is China, for help against the pirates, because the pirates out there, you heard me, that's some of the, people that actually didn't make it and decided to hang around and they gonna survive as they did. So they covered their faces so you wouldn't know they racist. That's why they wear masks. That's why they wear big patch on the eye where you can't see the whole face across, because the eyes give away who you are. This is my opinion. But the thing about it is, it's going to be a time to be shared with this situation, because it's not over. It's actually still going forward today as we speak. This war is going on right now. But my understanding is, once Putin falls, the U.S. will no longer face two strategics, but only have to lock China in the strategic. You heard me? And Europe will further cut itself off from China. Japan will become the anti-China vanguard. They're going to be the anti-China vanguard. South Korea will further fall. Taiwan will join the anti-China chorus, and the rest of us. Understand, it's going down like that. China will not only be militarily encircled by the U.S., NATO, and the rest of the squad, and AUKUS, but also be challenged by the Western in values and systems. So they have to be more creative. And China cannot be tied to Putin and needs to be cut off as soon as possible. Understand me? That's the deal. China cannot be tied to Putin, because Putin gonna fall. And you getting it told right here on the Opinion Talk Show in the press room, live by Big Baby. Raw. The raw story. It ain't nothing fun about it. It is what it is. And being the same, all right. The thing about it is, unless Putin can secure victory with China's backing them, you understand? But that's why we got to get China away from Putin, from Russia. Don't allow it to be taking place. And President Biden has already given China the word not to get involved, not to give them anything, support them no kind of way. Not to back Russia for nothing. The law of international politics says that there are no, understand, that there are no eternal allies nor perpetual enemies, but our interests are eternal and perpetual. Under current international circumstances, China can only proceed by safeguarding its own best interests, choosing, understand now, choosing choosing the lesser of two evils. Choosing the lesser of two evils and unloading the burden of Russia as soon as possible. Now, this is the thing that China has to do. You're getting it told right here, and you can hear it from in the press room on the Opinion Talk Show, Raw Story Live with Big Baby, and I'm giving it to you as it is, because at the present, it is estimated that there is still a window period of 1 or 2 weeks before China loses its wiggle room. It won't have no space to work with to get with him. Now, that's my opinion. It's going down like that. China must act decisively. And there it is. They got to be decisively about it. It can't just go Beauregard and do the thing, because Putin trying to play like it's just a help. So China should avoid playing both sides in the same boat. Give up being neutral and choose the mainstream position in the world. So who's in the mainstream position in the world? U.S. and the 27 other allies. My opinion, quote unquote. Just trying to give it to you as it is. Can't cut no curve. Got to let it know. It's raw. At present, China has tried not to offend either side and walked a middle ground in its international statements and charters, including abstaining from the UN Security Council and the UN General Assembly votes. Staying walking in the middle, not taking sides. But it has to be done. And he has to take the mainstream. However, this position does not meet Russia's needs. So he got to make a choice now, because him in the middle ain't working for Russia, and it has infiltrated Ukraine and its supporters as well as sympathizers, but putting China on the wrong side of much of the world. See, now it's gotten larger. Much of the world. It ain't much of Russia. It's much of the world. It's putting China on the wrong side. So if the wrong side is being on Russia's side. Understand? So China will not only be military encircled by the U.S., NATO, the Squad, and ACUS, but also be challenged by the Western values and systems. So he gonna have too much coming at him he had to deal with. So he has to take it diplomatically and understand he has to make a choice that would benefit China as much as the greater side of the world, and not just on the side of one that can't see their way out right now at this present moment. So China cannot be tied to Putin and needs to be cut off as soon as possible. China has to be cut off from Putin as soon as possible, because you can't be tied in with him. It's not no good thing for China. So the deal is, in the sense that an escalation of conflict between Russia and the West helps divert U.S. attention from China. So China should rejoice with and even support Putin. But only if Russia does not fall. Now, if Russia fall and he's supporting him, China doomed. He got to go down with him. So he got to make his choice more precise and diplomatic. You know, because being in the same boat with Putin will impact China should he lose the power. I just said it. If he with Putin and China and Putin lose the power, China go down too. He gonna lose out. That's how the system works. It's like somebody against you. You know they was supposed to be cool with you, but here they went against you. Now they out there. They out with them. They on their own. I can't do nothing about that. That's how they saying to China. You out there with him? Well, you already know. I told you don't do it. Here it is. Ain't my fault. He's not my fault. My opinion. Right here on Opinion Talk Show Live. In the press room. Raw. In his raw story. So unless Putin can secure victory with China backing a prospect which looks bleak at the moment, Putin has no way out of Ukraine, Guakmar, former NATO ambassador says. You understand? And these things are going on as of right now. NATO, Kurt Volker, painted a picture that describes the situation Putin is in. The law of the international politics. I understand, we're reading, keep going. Now, here it is. It's the law of the international politics says that there are no eternal allies nor perpetual enemies, but our interests are eternal and perpetual. You understand? It's going to be some killing behind getting that black gold out there, that black Earl. That's like that they call it black tea. Put it in the way you want to put it, but it's out there in the Black Sea. So here we go. Under current international circumstances, China can only proceed by safeguarding its own best interests, choosing the lesser of two evils, and unloading the burden of Russia as soon as possible. Get Russia off his back. You better shake him off. What they call, when they tell you shake that monkey off your back, and shake that monkey off your back. So China should avoid playing both sides in the same boat, because when the shit gonna sink, it's sinking you in the boat, it's sinking you too. Give up being neutral and choose the mainstream position in the world. Get on the mainstream. Gotta get it. Mainstream is the free world with U.S. and 27 other allies and many more behind us. That's how it goes. That's the way it is in order to survive. But he did some what you call crime, war crimes. I don't know if that's a way to be forgiven by getting on the mainstream. But at the present time, China has tried not to offend either side and walked a middle ground in its international statements and choices, including abstaining from the UN Security Council and the UN General Assembly votes. So they trying their best to do what's needed to be done for themselves and others, but they don't want, because they made a under the table, behind closed doors, behind big walls agreement with Russia. So they can't come out. But if he make the move too soon, the wrong move too soon, it'll come out from Russia. My opinion. You understand? Them whistleblowers, they get out there. They come out there from whence you know who the whistleblower is. But it comes and it shows up and be right there. You be like, what the hell? Yeah, that's life. It's getting to talk raw right here on the Opinion Talk Show in the press room, live, and here you got it. Understand? In some cases, apparent naturality is a sensible choice, but it does not apply to this war, where China has nothing to gain, given that China has always advocated respect for nationality and territorial integrity. It can avoid further only by standing with the majority of the countries in this world. You understand? You got X amount of countries in this world, and you got 28 of them standing together. What you think you should do? It ain't that hard to figure out. It's a do or die situation with Putin, and look like so far he did the killing that he gonna do. Put you in a bad boat if you get in there with him. China should achieve the greatest possible strategic breakthrough and not be further isolated by the West. Cutting off from Putin and giving up neutrality will help build China's international image and ease its relation with the U.S. Though difficult and requiring great wisdom, it's only option for the future. Best option at that. The view that geopolitical tussle in Europe triggered by the war in Ukraine will significantly delay the U.S. strategic shift from Europe, Rome, Spain, understand me, to the Indo-Pacific region cannot be treated with excessive optimism. We can't assume that because the Russians lost that they won't still try to invade other countries right there with Kyiv. You got NATO. You got Rome. You got Germany. You got Canada. You got all that up there, and you can't trust them because he's coming in from the backside of the north of the south side, from Russia to Ukraine, and he's trying to call in China. So he's gonna have China think they're gonna cover him coming in that way, but quote unquote he got to get there first. So he needs to back off, like it's being stated. My opinion, in the raw room. Get it told. There are already voices in the U.S. that Europe is important, but China is more so. And the primary goal of the U.S. is to contain China from becoming the dominant power in the Pacific region. You get me? In the Indo-Pacific region. You get me? The Pacific is ocean. Ocean is seas. Mediterraneans, the waters, way out there. That's where that deep down and they with the tapping there, they're coming up with it. And they need somewhere to store it. So they need a Ukrainian country to store it. They only need half of it. It held buildings and over 4 million people. Now you do the math. You fill up barrels and the cargo is a half a block long, and you stacking 30, 60 high, and you do the math. It's who? All that's who? That's money in the in the bank. When you talking about billions, there'd be trillions. That's trillions of dollars. Understand? If a black man can get to $1 billion, so the white man had already, quote unquote, my opinion, had already figured out how to get the trillions. Black man can't, you don't want that man right next to him with no billions. They into trillions. And the trillions is getting that black gold, that black tea. Understand? My opinion right here. Raw story in the press room on an opinion talk show live. Big Baby, give it to you. Get it on point. That's how it's told. Understand? Under such circumstances, China's top priority is to make appropriate strategic adjustments according to change the hostile American attitude towards China. See, this is the reason why China wants to come in and deal with Russia through Russia to get to that oil, because they know the tea, they can sell out that. We ain't worrying about the tea. We need to get into the trillions. We get the oil. I mean, and they didn't figure out negotiate. They got the two Edoms. You understand? One that, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna get some of that. Oh, okay. So he don't care about who getting, quote unquote, my opinion, who getting whoop de whoop de bam, some slam the what to have you. The man was already asking him. They showed it on TV. Ukrainian President Zelensky asking President when he was Putin. And he told him something different. Armstrong, the man. He failed to realize that was going to come up and smack him right way to hit him. But it still went down bad. It's going down bad on him for Ukraine. But he's hanging in there. And everything going to be all right. Just hanging in there. But understand, such circumstances, China's top priority is to make appropriate strategic adjustments according to the change the hostile American attitude towards China and to save itself from isolation. Because see, if he get with Putin, everybody gonna isolate themselves from him. All the states the countries that's together, he won't be able to really sell too much. Sanctions gonna come up on him. And you understand? That's what he ought to know that and see that what's happening with Putin. Them sanctions, they ain't nothing to play with. I didn't know the sanctions would do you that. That's just like that ain't nothing nice. Can't nothing come in, can't nothing go out. And everything that was in there with you left. That's like when I was young, in my younger days, and not as saying I'm old, but and I was a kid rather. And they say oil companies leaving the city. I ain't saying what city, but I'm just saying they was leaving the cities. I'm like, wow, what's going on? And all of a sudden, they ain't had no summer jobs. Oh, ain't no summer job neither for kids. Now as I'm older, as an adult, I had to check back on my history. So here your history is as of today. It's going down split diggity. You heard me? It's getting got raw again. Understand? Ain't no joke. It's the situation that the 500, what you call, the 500 clubs or the 500 companies, they left. But it in turn didn't hurt those that were quote unquote over cities, the city. It was just like they had that little super dog called underdog. It was just the underdogs that couldn't grow because the Fortune 500 companies left. They had no way to give no trickle down to the little man. Well, That's the same situation going on today. Chevron can't just go in there and get that. All right? I'm just saying, that's an example, my opinion. You need a country to come together and take over that like that. Why you think China waiting? Soon as that country take over that country to get it, China was already bought in. My opinion. Now, the United States already can see it, and they warning them. They warning China about what they tried to do. So they need to shake it off and let Russia go and get with the free world. The stronger side of the countries, as they say it. China role as a responsible major power. China not only cannot stand with Putin, but also should take concrete action to prevent Putin possible adventures. See, the thing is, like I just mention that now, Putin and China discuss the adventures that they want to plot and try to do. They trying to get to that oil out there. They want to tap in that out there in that Black Sea. They ain't gonna go as far as they can go. They can go all the way to Jerusalem area. They gonna go. That's why the situation came in and came out, quote unquote. The Iranians doing deals with Russia where they can detect and they can see where U.S. and their allies are. So that's the deal. That's the deal. But at the same time, here we got China then come out and try to see, they and try to put it like as if they the ones with the satellite. All the while the satellite has been made and passed over through some type of information, and it's a chip, and it's been created, and it's over where they first said it supposed to have it, but you can't find it, but they have it, because it once they get it, the duplicate is spread, and it's already in the U.S., but it's between. It's so many. It's global. It's so many people to where it's a satellite. When it takes place, those who are around that's in these particular areas of politicians, but they are not the politicians themselves, quote unquote. These are the ones that are in war position, that is amongst the politicians, that gets the information, quote unquote. My opinion, I don't have nothing to do with it, but just saying, it can't. You're narrowing it down so you can see. How else the word gonna get around if the one that's next to you has got to get around? That's the only way it's gonna get around. And they are the only ones with the high tech. You heard me? Chips. So be it, but ain't my fault. I'm just, you heard me, giving it to you raw. Story. Opinion talk show in the press room, live with Big Baby. You get it told on point. Ain't my fault. They putting it out there on it, and I'm just giving it to you on point. Right here with Big Baby. As a result, China will surely win widespread international praise for maintaining world peace. You understand? It's better to get a great praise than to be embraced with a bad praise, which may help China, in isolation, but also find an opportunity to improve its connection with the United States and the West. All right? See, because like I said, that's on the south. You got the east, south, west, north. Well, there you have it. The Western Mediterranean Sea and all that. Well, now you on the south. You over there by the Black Sea. It's nothing but the desert, wilderness, and the Black Sea, with more of what you call where the black gold is. Down in there, they gonna tap into it. Until the next alert come up, you get it told right here on the Opinion Talk Show, live in the press room with Big Baby, raw story, and stay tuned for the next episodes.